You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 41. I'm Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Spencer Valdez.
All right, it's a Wednesday Warrior edition.
Yep.
We got a few new comics, just a few.
Yeah.
I was really sad. Captain Midnight #0 was sold out, so I guess it's a hit.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll find it in a line or somewhere because I was really wanting to read that. But it was going to be an all Dark Horse edition, and it is an all Dark Horse edition this week.
You're going to Excalibur here in Portland, right?
I am going to Excalibur. Yes.
They're pretty good about having back issues.
Yeah, they're good for looking for back issues, but I mean, for something that just came out and was sold out, unless the shipping date changed, and that could have happened too. But there was a new Conan, and I got the last month's issue because I was behind. There's this new story arc, The Nightmare of the Shallows, written by Brian Wood, and beautiful art by David Gianfelice. Oh, hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Seems right to me.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous artwork. Wow, this story arc, we read 2 issues of this. Conan and Bleed are chillaxing in some place and dropping acid and humping like crazy, and that's kind of the story. And they're just tripping out on weird stuff, like things that are, things that may be, things that have been, weirdness.
Yeah, it's fairly confusing at points. Not knowing what's actually happened and what might happen and what is happening at that point, and just acid. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, or Yellow Lotus.
Yeah, Yellow Lotus.
But let me tell you, even confusing as this may be, I mean, I think I've missed the last arc or 2.
Right.
I'm glad to be picking up Conan again. Wow, it's really well written.
Yeah.
I'm so terrible with modern comics. I'm really good with gold, silver, and Bronze Age creators and stuff. So I'm trying to rack my brain, trying to remember what I know Brian Wood from. But it's one of those things I'll look it up like, oh yeah, I love that guy. So, but really well written, and it's just every panel of this is just gorgeous artwork. I mean, this is definitely worth your money. Highly recommend the Conan the Barbarian.
None of these 3 books, to me, the interiors were extraordinarily flashy, and I really liked that. It was really, it was crisp, and you really felt the emotion of each panel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back and reread these, and there's there'll be pages that have no dialogue, and that's fine, because there's just all this just gorgeous landscape and stuff. It's really terrific stuff. I mean, Marvel did wonderful things with Conan in the 70s and the 80s, and Dark Horse, who of course have the property now, they have. I mean, I've never read one that was bad. Right. I mean, they're just terrific comics. I mean, I can never you can never go wrong with the Dark Horse Conans. So yeah, I just love this stuff.
Yeah, I dug these too. I haven't read the 70s,
the Roy Thomas written stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, this stuff is
so good.
This stuff is great. Like you said, the writing style is just. It's confusing because the story's confusing, but it's not like the writer is going.
Well, it's not our fault. We've missed the last arc or so.
Yeah. It's not like the author's going out of his way to confuse us.
No, there's definitely, it's just playing on the continuity of what's been going on in the book.
Right.
And it's fascinating. It's Conan and Belit. I'm so glad that they're continuing with the duo. Of them. Spoilers in the Marvel stuff. She does die.
Oh.
So I'm sure that Belit will die.
Right.
Because I want to say Belit was actually part of the Robert E. Howard stories, but I don't know. I actually haven't read those.
Okay.
So, as lame as you are for not reading the Marvel Conan stuff, I'm lame for never having read the original source material. That's how we'll judge that.
Okay.
See, don't you feel better?
I
I've insulted you, and I made you feel better.
Yeah, it's great.
But no, really great stuff. I mean, this is just one of those things. I wouldn't if Marvel was doing Conan now, they wouldn't take a chance on doing a story like this. No way. It's usually, it was usually Conan knee deep in people he's killing, which works just fine. And there's certainly that is present here, but there's a texture, a depth that's going on, that's a new dimension, and that's really great to see a character that's been around since the 30s.
Right.
That's
as passionate as he is about killing people, he is about belief.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what does Conan do? Kills and bones.
Right.
That's the Conan way. So yeah, rad.
Yeah.
That's Conan 16 and 17. Sorry.
Cool.
And the other issue I picked up today, another Dark Horse, it's Baltimore, the Inquisitor one-shot. And Baltimore actually isn't in the book very much.
No, he's not.
Baltimore the Monster Hunter. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love these books. Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden write it, and really wonderful art by Ben Stenbeck. Gosh, it's so dreary and creepy.
Yeah.
And takes place in 1917. But it looks like it could be like the 1700s.
Yeah.
It's like it's just this dark European landscape, and just everything's. There's a lot of the vampirism and lots of old world religious not symbology, symbolism. Symbology. Yeah, you saw Boondock Saints, right? Okay. But granted, that always cast. I just like how they cast Christendom, even in an old school setting, always so negative.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, it's not everybody is bad,
But the Inquisition was pretty terrible.
Yes, and the priest, the Inquisitor in question, the title character of this book, is definitely a bad guy. He's definitely not the nice. He's not Father Murphy. He's not nice.
While I was reading it though, I was thinking to myself, I could read this character in another book, and I would follow it like it was great.
Sure.
Just if it was his own title, the Inquisitor, the whole kind of his background,
like a dark priest. You would read that book?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You might want to read Preacher. Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Because I know you haven't.
Right.
It's in trade, so you can check it out.
At your local library.
Or if you got dough, you can actually buy
That's
the thing.
true.
But yeah, Preacher, that's a good book. I mean, I'm not always. I have to be in the mood for Garth Ennis.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean the
good.
idea that the church is behind the monster hunting and like the purifying of monsters and vampires and things like that.
Yeah, and that's cool.
It's cool to me.
But they seem to be against Baltimore because he's not, with them, and these guys are kind of taking it too far,
So the righteousness going too far.
I think they're taking ownership, like the church has to handle any monster hunting,
right? And
anything outside of that, it's like, oh no, you're tainted or whatever. So that's interesting. The conflict that I think we can see is going to build upon, and will, I think, obviously take place in the next one shot or two part thing that Baltimore comes up with, because that seems how Mignola likes to do it. It should be interesting. I would look forward to that.
Yeah, I love these Baltimore comics. I was picking them up previously, and they were just great every time.
Word.
And just having it kind of a one shot it gives you a taste, and you're like, okay, yes, I'm ready for the next one. And then he makes you wait a little bit, and you're like, okay,
But here's the thing. I like this approach that you'll see a lot of Dark Horse, especially the Mike Mignola books, okay, whether it's Hellboy or Baltimore or whatever, is instead of having they've got whatever number of books, and there's ongoing monthly series, and we got to crank out a book and come up with something. We'll have a one and done or a two-parter or a mini-series when we've got a good idea.
Yeah.
And I wish Marvel and DC did that more, because you would have a greater level of quantity, and I think people would be more excited to get it,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a box holder, I guess it makes your pulls a little trickier, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think you'd be more likely to get more comics.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, do I want to get this? Is it going to be a big crossover in the next couple months? Do I really want to deal with all that?
Yeah.
Because those are just cash grabs.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Green Lantern, but the idea of having to buy 4 books to...
Oh, it's going to be 5 now. Larfleeze is getting his own book.
to get through the
You know, a whole
the
crossover.
Third Army.
Sure, or whatever.
You know,
but
that was expensive, and,
sure.
and I couldn't do it all the way.
And like you know what, even a family of like 5 books, that's not too bad.
Right.
But like the Bat books,
right.
you get a crossover there, you're buying like 20 books, or pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's just insane.
Yeah.
And that's just too much.
Yeah. I like this approach. It's fun.
Yeah.
It leaves you wanting for more, and that's cool.
Yeah, and so, and you're kind of like, oh, when the next Baltimore thing comes out, whenever it does, it's going to be good. Yeah. It's not, you're not going to feel forced, like, oh, we got to get it under a deadline.
Right.
And so, yeah, this is a whole why I like Dark Horse. Don't get me wrong, I love Marvel and DC, especially DC, but Dark Horse does something very special and something very wonderful, and God bless them for doing it. So, I don't. Do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, we're good. Okay, that's it. See you next week.